it's me, Maria Lanice, and welcome back. So today's video is going to be a story time. I know I have not done the story time in such a long time, so I wanted to bring you guys another story time and make it very interesting. So this story time, as you saw, is about when I was pregnant. No, I'm not pregnant now. I have a little pooch, but I guess that kind of comes with the territory. But yeah, I just wanted to share my experience with you all, and I don't know, maybe you all can learn something from it. Maybe I just felt like it would be something nice to share. So I have is this it? Oh, good. So I had points written down that I really wanted to hit. Of course, I'm going to start from the very beginning, but there were certain points that I really wanted to make sure I discussed. So I kind of wrote it down. All right, so let's just hop into it. Okay, so starting from the very beginning. So when I met my child's father, or soon to be what I didn't know at the time would be my child's father, I was 23, going on 24. This was back in 2010. I had been working for the Department of Defense for maybe about 4 months when we met. So for the purpose of this video, we're going to call my child's father Super Nintendo. And I was working overnight when we met. He came up, we hit it off, started talking, we went on a couple of dates. And after date number 2, 2 months later, I found out I was with child. So date number 2 was not very long after we met each other, and what happened was we went to a comedy club for the date, and we were kind of wasted when the comedy show was over, and he drove, so we drove back to his place, and oops. So, because things with him kind of progressed quickly, so yeah, when that happened, that was the first time that we, laid down together, and that happened to be the time when my child was conceived. So when they say that you can get pregnant the very first time you lay down, you definitely can, because I approve of that. So, I hadn't known him for very long when that happened, and so, for the next couple of months, I didn't know I was pregnant, so I was still operating I was cool, I wasn't pregnant or anything. So, yeah, I found out, I want to say, the mid to end October that I was pregnant. How I found out is 2 ways, actually. First, I went to the doctor and I got a blood test, and the results for that didn't come back for maybe I want to say a day or 2. So after I left the doctor, I went to the local pharmacy and I got a pregnancy test. I swear, 2 seconds after I peed on the stick, that thing popped up and said pregnant, because I got the one that said pregnant, not pregnant. I wasn't doing no 2 lines, nothing. I needed to be spelled out pregnant, not pregnant. And you know how they're supposed to take 3 minutes? Nah, this didn't even take a minute, okay? So I was distraught. because I was just like, yo, like, I'm not ready for this. I just started a new job, like a different job. In September, I started a different job from when I was working overnight. Like, I was working during the day now in an office Monday through Friday, whatever. Still for the Department of Defense. So, but I don't believe in, now this is just me personally, I can't speak for, anyone else, but this is just my personal belief. I just don't believe in abortions. So I personally couldn't take myself to go do that. Those of you who do, my hat's off to you. Because I just personally can't do it. Now, I'm not judging anyone else who has, because I know plenty of people who have, and it is what it is. It's just a personal decision. Like, if you feel like you're just in that point in your life where you just know that you can't handle a child, then do what you gotta do. But I mean, I was 23 going on 24. I had a relatively good job. So I was like, and Super Nintendo had a good job too. So I'm just like, okay, it is what it is. We gotta move forward. So, so yeah, we actually had to take the time to get to know each other while I was pregnant. That is no easy task. Because when you're pregnant, your hormones are like, and trying to know someone when you're happy one minute, crying the next minute, angry the next minute, and needy the next is like, yo, it's not easy. So, I mean, we tried, we did what we could, but there was just, from my hormones going everywhere, B, from us not really knowing each other and not really knowing how to adapt to one another, that didn't really play out in our favor. So, it is what it is. But, yeah, like I said, that I had just started working at a new job, still for the Department of Defense, and the next month I found out I'm pregnant. Okay. I didn't tell anyone that I worked with, because I wasn't showing. I literally did not tell them until I was practically showing, and I want to say, that was 2 months in October, November, December, January. So I was like 5 months when I finally told them. I told them actually after I found out what I was having, because, I mean, before then, it kind of just looked like I had one too many hamburgers. Like, I was just like super full. So like my stomach wasn't like protruding or anything. I just looked like, I was full. Like, I don't know. Just like a regular, thick, shapely girl. So the way my body was, my stomach grew last. Like, my hips and my butt and my thighs grew first. And that's really where I carried. I was like, hips and butt and thighs. Like, that's it. My stomach eventually grew and grew and grew some more. But initially, I just looked like a nice little thick, shapely girl, because when I turned my back to you, you wouldn't know I was pregnant. It wasn't until I turned around and you saw this that to me I was pregnant, because I was working 2 jobs at the time. I was still working, working with the Department of Defense, and I was still working at my part-time job at the mall. So I don't know how many times, like, my back was faced to people who were entering the store, and guys would like try to talk to me, and then I would turn around and have like this big old belly, and they'd be like, okay, never mind. So I found that hysterical. So yeah, during the course of my pregnancy, I gained like 60 or 70 pounds. I was huge. You know how they say, oh, you shouldn't gain more than 20 or 30? I think I gained 20 or 30 within the first 5 months. Yeah. And I will never forget that there was this one time that I went to this accident, and like, you know, we were discussing my eating and, you know, how rapidly like I was gaining weight. And I was just telling her, like, you know, I'm not eating like triple or quadruple portions of what I used to eat before. Like, I wasn't eating like a whole lot, and I wasn't like always hungry. Like, yeah, I would snack, but I was drinking more water than anything. Like, I was like a freaking fish. I was drinking like 18 glasses of water a day. Like, I swear it was like 18 to 20 glasses of water a day. But yeah, so fast forward, you know, to the baby shower. So the baby shower was great. Family, friends, good food, good, amazing cake. If y'all have a Costco near you, please do yourself a favor and go get you a Costco cake. The kind that has like the it's got like this filling in the middle between the two layers. It's like the heavens came down from bakery heaven and just created this cake. I mean, it is so freaking amazing. So yeah, I was going to, you know, my doctor's appointments regularly, of course. The day that I gave birth was literally the day that I turned full term. So, you know, you're full term at 37 weeks. And my daughter came the day I turned 37 weeks. So my daughter was 3 weeks early. So I went to the doctor, and they were like, "Are you okay? Are you seeing spots?" Like, what do you mean? They're like, "Your blood pressure is so high right now that you could, like, you know, pass out, have a seizure, or stroke, or something, like something absurd." And I'm like, no, like, I feel fine. Like, I don't see spots. Like, I'm not dizzy. There's nothing wrong. But they were like, we can't let you leave until your blood pressure goes down. So I'm still in the doctor's office. They had me laying down or whatever. They had me like drinking water or whatever. And so I had my breakfast at work, and I think I had like grits and eggs, like something, you know, nothing huge. And then between the time I ate breakfast and my doctor's appointment was a few hours. So I think on my way to my doctor's appointment, I had like a Nutri-Grain bar. That was it. So yeah, I'm in the doctor's office, and my doctor's office building was literally like right behind the hospital. So it was very convenient. So then Super Nintendo was with me, of course. So me and Super Nintendo, we go over to the hospital, and they have me laying down and like lay on your left side. I guess that helps to bring your blood pressure down. You know, your heart's on that side, so they're like laying on your left side. So I was laying on my left side, and it wouldn't go down. So they were like, well, we have to induce you. So wait, you're not about to have this child today? Like, it could be. I said, oh no, I'm not ready for this. And it was like, I was ready for it to be over, but I wasn't ready for the reality of it to actually be over, if that makes sense. So they induced me. So what they induced you with is called Pitocin. So they gave me the IV, gave me the Pitocin, and so I'm like, okay, I'm hungry. When can I get some food? They said, oh, you can't eat until after the baby comes. What? What did you say to me? You mean to tell me y'all didn't tell me that I couldn't eat before y'all gave me this Pitocin? I'm hungry. They're like, oh, well, you can have clear liquids. I don't know daggone clear liquids. I want some food. So they were like, well, you can have water, ice chips, chicken broth, applesauce. That's it. I don't even know if they offered me applesauce. I think it was just ice chips, water, and chicken broth. You don't tell that to a First of all, you don't tell that to a hungry me in the first place, pregnant or not. Secondly, I was pregnant. You don't tell me that. I'm hungry. So I was mad. I was like, man, y'all should have told me this. I want some food. So my mom's at the hospital by this time. My best friends were on their way to the hospital. My best friend's mom was on her way up there. So my water broke sometime that same afternoon. I want to say it might have been like 3 o'clock when my water broke. Because those contractions, honey. So I was dilating, like at a rapid rate, like it was relatively fast. But they were still thinking that it was going to slow down and that I still wouldn't give birth till the next day. But yeah, so my water broke sometime that afternoon. And it was actually when they were giving me my epidural. So they give you an epidural when you're 5 centimeters dilated. So like when you're halfway dilated. Halfway dilated. And so I couldn't look at the needle because I'm scared of needles, but I knew that I couldn't take the pain of the contractions. So I was like, y'all got to do something about this. Like, it hurt so bad. Just imagine somebody dropping like a 50-pound weight on your stomach 1,000 times. That is how bad my contractions were. Like, yeah, it was crazy. So they came in, they measured me, and like, oh, you're 5 centimeters. All right, we can give you the epidural. So my water hadn't broke before that time, but so they sat me up, they gave me a pillow, and I leaned over the pillow. That's when my water broke. Literally, that is when my water broke. And when your water breaks, it just feels like an uncontrollable pee, pretty much. And I mean, it just kept going and going and going. And it could have been from all the freaking water that I had consumed that day, and all those other days up to the day that I gave birth. But man, but let me tell you, thank God for the person that created epidurals. Because after that, I was on cloud 9. I couldn't feel a thing from my waist down, and it was amazing. So by this time, the friends were in the room, family and stuff was there. And I'll never forget my line sister. She was like, Mimi, you're having a contraction. I was like, oh no. And, they were monitoring, the heartbeat and, my heart rate and all this, that, and the third. But everybody except for, how many people did they allow in there? I think 4 people. So it was my 2 best friends, Super Nintendo, and my mom, and then of course the nurse. So, I can't feel anything. And so I'm feeling good, you know what I mean? So they go, they hold my legs up and all this stuff. And it's just, oh my gosh. It's just like, talk about feeling exposed and all your goods just on display for everybody. So my doctor, my midwife, she's like, okay, on your next contraction, push. So I want to say it might have been like a few minutes after 8 at this time, because I gave birth at 8:29. So I was in labor for, I don't know, maybe like from, I want to say they gave me the Pitocin around 12. So I was in labor for roughly 8 hours, and the delivery part was less than 30 minutes. Talk about an easy delivery, and I thank God every day for that. So I literally pushed 3 times. No lie. So, you know, she was like, 1, 2, 3, push. And how long did it? I don't even know how long they had you push for, but it's not that long. I think 10 seconds. So I pushed, and then she was like, okay, relax. And then when your next contraction comes again, you know, push again. And then relax. And then when your next contraction comes, push again. So they were like, you know, oh, I see the head. So, but meanwhile, you know, I'm pushing and all this, that, and the third. But my one best friend, she's down there, and you know, she has my digital camera, and she's trying to record it. And I'm like, Ashley, that's my best friend's name, if you don't get that camera out of my cooch. And so literally we were laughing, and that is how my daughter came out, as I was laughing. So, and it was so crazy because, you know, I didn't feel it. Of course, I didn't like feel her come out, but like I had just pushed my 3rd time, and then I said that to my best friend, and then we were laughing, and it was like my doctor had turned her back a little bit because she was getting something like off the table where the utensils were, and she turned around and was like, oh, she's here. And we were all like, what? We were like, yo, that was crazy. And so it was so crazy. So she was born 3 weeks early on May 18th at 8:29 p.m. But I did nurse for, I think I was only able to nurse for like 2 months, because like when they say like when you're nursing, like you have to kind of keep up with the amount of foods and stuff that you're eating, so that way your child can have, you know, those nutrients. Well, I wasn't able to keep up with my appetite. Like my appetite literally went down to less than what I was able to eat before I got pregnant. Yeah. So that was my pregnancy story. I tried to keep it entertaining. I don't know if it was entertaining, but I hope it was. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope I wasn't like real dry. I don't know. I feel like part of me was kind of dry. I don't know. Just tell me what you think. And look out for my next video, because my next video will actually be a giveaway. Giveaway time. So yeah, my video next week will definitely be a giveaway. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel and give this a thumbs up. Let me know if you guys want me to incorporate more story times, you know, on my channel, because I can definitely do that. I have plenty of stories that I could tell. Plenty of stories. So yeah, until next week, be blessed, be safe, and I'll see you all later.